Hello, this is a Gamasutra video interview. Today I'm talking to Ichiro Lambe from Dejobaan Games about Drunken Robot Pornography, which is pretty much a great video game title. So, hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. So, we've not talked for a while, so why don't you let me know what has been going on at Dejobaan for the past, what, couple of years, and I will start shooting some robots.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see what's been going on. We've been working on a number of games. We now have proper office space as well. We are located in so we're in Boston, Massachusetts, here in the U.S., and we're around the Kendall Square area. So if anybody is from Boston, you know that's the MIT-ish area. We reside in the American Twine Building, which used to make rope and now makes not rope, uh, alongside what we call the Indie Game Collective, which is, maybe half a dozen to a dozen other independent studios who are working to make huge riches and art and wonderful things. Right now, we are working on Drunken Robot Pornography. We're still working on Drop That Beat Like an Ugly Baby, which last time you and I spoke, we were still working on, and that's sort of that's gonna finish someday. Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna ask about that later. Don't worry.
all right, I got answers. We just launched Monster Loves You for 3 platforms last year, and we're working on an artistic game called Elegy for a Dead World, where you explore long dead civilizations based on the works of dead romantic poets.
Indeed. Okay, so right, there's a lot to take in there. Let's start with this game. So what is it that people are watching me play right here?
All right, so this is Drunken Robot Pornography, which is a jetpack first-person shooter where you take to the skies and destroy 30-story tall titans.
Yes, it is indeed. And I mean, what possessed you to make this game?
Well, it was actually two things. One, it was an April Fool's joke. A couple of years ago, or a bunch of years ago, we did a press release on April Fool's that talked about, I think it was called Drunken Robot Pornography, and the objective of the game is you were this giant robot who is sent out to make the life of a young girl named Penelope Raindance miserable. So you would kill and eat her parents, and you would sort of vex her at every turn. And I mean, we kept the name from that. Obviously, the wonderful concept is different now. But
Yeah.
the other half is our 2003 title, Inauguration Rage, where you basically take to the skies with a jetpack and destroy huge piles of, swarms of enemies. And to anybody who plays Drunken Robot Pornography, if you look in one of the folders of the game, you can see and play Inauguration Rage. But we decided to take that, and a decade later, so we refined it, added a bunch of giant robots, and that's what we see you playing now.
Yeah, so I mean, when I'm playing it, like the first thing that I felt like it sort of had, the old school first person shooter feel to it, so like it kind of reminded me of playing, sort of Unreal Tournament and Quake and all those kind of things. I mean, was that sort of an object, or did it just sort of happen?
Absolutely. In fact, the original Inago Rage was based on Tribes, the original Tribes, if you
Oh
remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna say actually, again, like with the whole jetpack as well, it's definitely got a Tribes Ascend feel to it as well.
yes, and then the other half of that is Robotron 2084.
What's this?
What? You've never played Robotron?
I have never played Robotron. When's that?
It came out in like 1980s early.
Oh
All
really?
right, Smash TV. Have you played Smash TV?
Yeah, I've played Smash TV.
Okay, so imagine Smash TV with robots, and the screen resolution was about 5 by 3 pixels.
Okay.
My
Okay.
God, I think I'm getting old.
Well, not to make you feel too old, but in the time that you've just described, I was sort of being born around then. So
Yeah.
that's probably a little bit embarrassing for me, but yeah.
Being
So,
born, I think being born is embarrassing to all of us.
yeah, that's true. It's probably a very embarrassing time in our lives. If it's probably a blessing that we can't really remember it.
I
So
know, right? I mean, to
yeah,
be squozen through orifices and
mm,
like all that crying and the goo is like,
exactly.
yeah,
Just someone should make a game about that. Somebody probably already has made a game about that that I'm just
yeah.
not aware of.
I bet it's pretty embarrassing too.
Yeah. So why have you chosen to go down the Steam early access route with the game?
Well, actually, so we had been testing on Steam in a closed alpha, and we got a call from Valve saying, "Hey, we're trying this new thing out. It's called Steam Early Access. Would you be interested in putting DRP on it?" And as with many things Valve, we are early adopters. So I think we were one of the first games with DRP, first indie games at least, to support the Steam Workshop user-generated content. And when they called and said, "Hey, early access, guinea pig," we said absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to the user generated stuff. So I mean, how have you been sort of handling that? How have you been trying to? Because for people watching, the idea is that a part of the game you can create your own levels and you can create your own titans. I mean, how have you been trying to sort of push alpha people to sort of get involved with that?
We've been very light about that and just seeing what people create and trying to support that through, encouraging words and pinning things to the forums.
Yeah.
I think right now we have something like 400 some pieces of user-generated content, which is really neat. I want to do two things, and one is to highlight some of those on a regular basis. So like mod of the week, titan of the week, level of the week, whatever. And then maybe add in some contests or some competitions. So every month or something like that, or every, I don't know, 7.5 days, just to make it really complex, I would like to put out a new challenge. Who can make the best small titan or the most difficult titan with 10 pieces or something like that. And I think that'll support the modding community.
Yeah. Okay, so you were mentioning earlier that you've got multiple games on the go at the moment. So I guess the first obvious question with regards to that is sort of how you are balancing that and how you're managing to achieve sort of making 3 games all at the same time.
Yep. Have you met my biz strategy guy, Rohit?
I haven't met him. I'm fairly certain I've talked to him a couple of times though.
Okay, so now whenever I talk to another game developer, he will pull that game developer aside and say, "Hey, make sure Ichiro doesn't start another game." And you laugh, but this has actually happened. So I think, in the olden days, it used to just be me at the studio, and finally, over time, we've become a we instead of just a me. So we have a number of teams working on a number of projects, like for Monster Loves You, which is a monster visual novel life simulator thing that we launched last year. We partnered with Radial Games' Andy Moore, and we had a team on that. And for Drop That Beat Like an Ugly Baby, we're working with Zapdop Interactive and Hybrid Mind Studios. And for DRP is an internal project. And then for Elegy for a Dead World, we're working with local Boston studios, not Zapdop, pardon me, Pop Cannibal, who also created Girls Like Robots and Captain Astronaut's Last Hurrah. So we're actually, we're doing a lot of collaborations with other studios, and that's allowing us to work on these multiple projects.
Yeah, so essentially it's a case that you either come up with an idea or you're talking to other people and coming up with ideas with them, and you just cannot help yourself making more things, basically.
Yeah. Well, Elegy for a Dead World was supposed to be a 1-week project. We called it Pickled Ginger, because if you have sushi, between courses, you're supposed to have this pickled ginger as a palate cleanser. And I was getting burnt out on Drop That Beat Like an Ugly Baby and DRP, and I'm like, oh god, let's just do this 1-week project to get our minds reset. And we did the project, and it was so good that we said, oh, let's make this a real project. I think in part much to Rohit's dismay. but that at that point became a real project, and it's sort of like, it's not at the forefront of our minds, and we come back to it every few months and improve it, and get feedback and improve it.
Yeah. So I mean, is there anything then? Is there anything else that you're also sort of working on, or thinking about working on, whether it be games or otherwise?
Geez, aside from the 15 million games that we're working on, I mean, we're doing some house remodeling. In terms of what?
Well, I always get the impression whenever I sort of see you talking or whatever that you always sort of have like ideas spinning around that you just always want to be sort of on top of, really. So I mean, I'm sort of the same in a way, but I'm doing a pretty bad job at the moment of trying not to jump on top of all of them myself. But yeah, just in terms of non-video game things, I guess, because I see quite a lot of developers at the moment, sort of trying to branch out into other mediums, essentially.
I guess the closest that we've come to other mediums would be Elegy for a Dead World. Is really not a game. It's sort of an artistic, it's sort of an artistic experiment.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no victory condition for it. You write stories, and if you finish your story and submit it and everybody likes your story, maybe that's a win. And of course, we're doing community building stuff over here in Boston. We're trying to, there's the new co-working space, and that's fun and exciting and new. I talked at Steam Dev Days, which was kind of neat.
Oh yeah.
And then, aside from that, just like, I don't know, trying to poke our noses in different directions, but nothing concrete.
Excellent. Right. Well, yeah, I think I've sort of burnt through my questions for this time. But I'm sure we'll talk again.
All right.
Are you planning to be at GDC?
I will be at GDC. We just set our flight. We're going to be there from Friday to Friday. So if you're around, I'd love to meet up and say hello.
Definitely. I think I'm Friday to Friday as well. So it's good timing.
Yeah, wow, you're spending an entire week there. Are you doing the Airbnb thing?
No, well, the thing was, it sort of made sense for me to come for a week since I'm coming all the way from the UK. Sure. So, yeah, I just thought I can always doss around San Francisco a little bit if there's nothing else to do. So, yeah, should be good fun.
Yeah, are you a fan of Indian food?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. I mean, Rohit says that Shalimar is the best Indian food he's had in North America. So
oh, really?
You walk into this place, it's completely filled with smoke. You sit down, they give you a bunch of meat if that's your thing, or non-meat if that's your thing, and you come away really happy, smile on your face.
Yeah. Excellent. Sounds good. Right. Right. Well, I think I've shot enough Titans now, and yeah. So everybody watching, that is Drunken Robot Pornography. You can grab it on Steam Early Access right now, and you should do, because it's a lot of fun. Right. Thanks a lot for talking to me.
Have fun.